They said a dream is a false sense of hope, a self-deluding fantasy. Well, I'll show you how the 2007 Delaware State Hornets turned the imagination of being the MEAC champions into the reality which is known as a dream season. So sit back as Front Street Video Productions, along with the narration of Ralph Wesley, take you on a ride that will remember for the ages. Enjoy the dream.
One game away from a Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference title. That's how they would stay. One game away. With plenty of frustration and agony from the 2006 season, the Hornets were determined to do it right from the beginning, starting with off-season workouts and summer camp.
And so that whole off-season, that's just the picture I saw in my mind. Those seniors walking out there with the look on their face, that hurt, the disappointment. I just didn't want to be that senior, so that whole off-season, that was my motivation, just seeing those seniors' faces from last year.
With the Hornets being one game away from winning a share of the MEAC title and a potential playoff berth, the expectations for the 2007 season were high. The Hornets opened the season at home versus a powerhouse from the Big South Conference, 20th ranked Coastal Carolina. Coastal jumped out to an early three-point lead, but the Hornets would score on their next drive with a 63-yard scamper from Syracuse transfer Kareem Jones. The Hornets continued to have their way as McBride picked up where he left off in the 2006 season, making big-time catches and scoring the Hornets' next 2 touchdowns. The Hornets would then hold on in the fourth quarter for a 23-18 victory over the then-ranked Chanticleers. 3 weeks later, the Hornets were faced with a nasty showdown with the 3-time defending MEAC champs, the 13th ranked Pirates of Hampton University.
We knew we wanted to be champions at the end of the year. That was our goal. And we knew we were a better team, but however, in order to be the champion, you got to beat the champion. And past years say that the Hampton's the champion.
Hampton came out like the Pirates they are, looking to seal any treasure they could find. And that they found, as they used their run-and-gun offense down the field to set up running back Jerry Cummings' 15-yard touchdown run on their first drive. The Hornets would not be intimidated by the pesky Pirates, proving they could move the ball also, as they took their first drive 80 yards and capping it off with a 1-yard touchdown run by quarterback Bashawn Winton.
We was a visiting team, and so Hampton scored, so they got the momentum. So in order for us to get into the game, we had to get momentum too. So I just felt like we just go out there and make big plays, and hopefully that we can tie the game up, and then we can go up on them, you know.
The two teams would battle back and forth, up and down the field into the fourth quarter, where the score was knotted up at 17.
Oh yeah!
Knowing that they needed a score, the Hornets looked towards senior tight end Jeff Postel for the answer.
Basically, we were in the red zone, and the pocket broke down, so Rashawn rolled out.
That was great!
Thank God he saw me and put it up high as he could, and I had to go up and go get it. So that really felt good to know that I could make that play for the team whenever we need it.
With Postel's touchdown, the Hornets held the Pirates scoreless for the next 3 possessions as they sacked the quarterback 3 times and went on to the 24-17 victory and stealing the Pirates' treasure of being the champs.
Yeah, it's a big victory for everyone. I mean, Hampton's the last year's champion, so I mean, it's a big victory for everyone. But we got to take it every game at a time, and we got to win next week too. So we just got to go out there and have some fun.
You know, win over Hampton is important anytime, and I'm glad we did, and that we may be on the road to a championship.
Well, it's a very significant victory because we beat the champions, and that's a significant step toward moving to a championship ourselves. Our guys know that they can do it now because we did it.
With Delaware State sending a message to the rest of the MEAC Conference, Bethune-Cookman wanted to send a message of their own, that all championships go through Bethune.
You got an opportunity, not an obstacle. There happened to be a team from Florida here today. That's good. That's nice. It's 7:30 practice. And you've got to give it everything that you have. Nothing less than that is acceptable. Work day!
Give all you got, baby, 100%. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win!
The first half was a battle that looked to be in favor of the Wildcats as they jumped out to an early 7-0 lead. Dominating the Hornets' offense, the Wildcats looked to increase their lead. But a fumble deep in their own territory proved to be costly for the Wildcats. The Hornets recovered the fumble and their offensive swagger. Winton connected with McBride twice for touchdowns. As double coverage proved, you need more than that to stop McBride.
We pretty much knew we had a special player. Probably from the second day he practiced, we knew he was going to be a good player. And he really, offensively, he really put this program on his back for 4 years and really carried us for 4 years.
The defense went on to shut down the high-scoring offense of Bethune in the second half, demonstrating that it's not who wins the battle, but who wins the war.
With anything, I mean, we've got a lot of football to improve upon. I think our team is pretty confident about what we're doing, but it's at the same time realize that there's much more improvement to be made if we're to move on and keep climbing that ladder of success.
Game 7 of the season is when it seemed the spirit of number 7 was in the air.
As we all know, the audience knows he passed away this past off season a year ago in January, suddenly. But I think JJ served to remind us, I believe, of the potential that's within all of us, but also how fragile life is, and that it is not guaranteed or promised to any of us beyond the moment that we're currently living.
With both teams in control of their own destiny, the intensity was high from the beginning.
Hey, right now let's start to have a little fun. Let's go. Now it's time to have some fun, baby. Let's go to work. House party on 3. 1, 2, 3. House party.
The Hornets came out fighting from the opening kickoff as Brandon Hudson returned a kick deep into Bears territory.
And he's following him, still untouched out past the 40. Breaks out of one tackle, it's tiptoeing down the sideline, cuts it back inside all the way down to the 15-yard line. An incredible return.
Winton would later find McBride for the early 7-0 lead.
The near side going for McBride. Perfect pass. Touchdown, Delaware State.
Morgan would soon answer with 2 consecutive scores of their own.
In for the touchdown. Morgan State takes the lead. And that ball was up for grabs, but it was caught by Robert Surratt at the 45-yard line of Delaware State.
As the game went on, Morgan found themselves in the fourth quarter with a 17-16 lead and looked to add on with this catch that put the Bears on the 1-yard line.
Inside the 5, breaks the tackle and tiptoes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
And what happened next will be talked about for years to come.
First and goal from the 2. Give us to Anderson, diving forward, and he fumbles the football. Delaware State has it, and a wall of blockers coming the other way. It's Akeem Green with an escort. Selby's the last man to beat. Tiptoeing through, touchdown, Delaware State. An incredible turn of events. Over 100 yards on the fumble return for Akeem Green. No flags on the field. we seen everything yet?
Absolutely not. You're going to see